The kitchen's the only place I've ever felt like I really belonged. I loved every minute of it. The heat, the pressure, the violence.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Yes, the violence of the kitchen. Yes.
Yeah, if you're not violencing in the kitchen, you're not doing it right, I guess.
So that's why I like this podcast, because the pressure, the heat, the violence.
That's right.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay.
You can't see it, listeners, but there's a lot of violence happening right now.
We're back with a new movie, kicking off a new movie.
That's right.
Easter's around the corner, or maybe past us, or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know either. The time of Easter, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, we could say it's Passover too, I guess, because that's right around then.
Yeah,
right.
it's Lent. It's Lent too, right? That's
Lent,
before, right?
Yeah,
it's the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all
Any other religions that you want to?
Yeah.
Let us know what holidays you have.
All right, so new movie, new teardowns. It means we're gonna do a little trailer trash for our next new movie.
Sure.
See how many times I could say the word movie.
Movie.
Maybe. Why don't you just tell us what we're getting into? What are we doing?
Burnt is the movie.
Nice. Did you already say that?
I don't know. I said it a couple times.
Okay.
For emphasis, I guess. Burnt
Burnt with the T.
Yep. 2015 joint. This is a listener suggestion. Shout out to Thais.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. She did suggest this. So
yeah. This is one of the every now and then listeners, just so you have a little context, Thais will text us like 8 movies in a row.
Yeah. I usually get them really late at night, and I'm like, what is happening? Why is this? What is going on? And then next day I'll scroll through them and I like check them all out and put them on our list. So
exactly. And this is one of those.
Yeah. Our list to destroy.
Right. So the premise here is Adam Jones is a chef who destroyed his career with drugs and diva behavior. He cleans up and returns to London, determined to redeem himself by spearheading a top restaurant that can gain 3 Michelin stars.
That's the maximum.
Wow.
That's the maximum number of Michelin stars, right?
That's right.
Scale it does not go to 5.
Nope.
Okay.
Thanks, tires.
Great. Cool.
I don't know. Drugs and diva behavior sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. And cleans up and returns to London. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think Gordon Ramsay does drugs?
Probably. I think everyone in the restaurant industry does. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that libel?
As far as
slander?
Yeah.
Slander's printed, right? So
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure.
This would be liable.
If someone complains about it, I can't wait.
Yeah, same.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I bet Gordon Ramsay does drugs.
Yes, someone important to tell us to stop doing something, please.
That's right.
In my short kitchen career, I worked in the kitchen for 8 years. Did you ever do the food service industry at all?
No.
8 years.
That's a good run.
Worked my way up from washing dishes to working the line.
Wow. Yes, chef.
Chopping, cooking, getting burnt, Yeah.
Oh,
And it was, and I hated the heat. I hated the pressure, and there wasn't violence. So,
that's good.
Can't wait to see what this movie's all about.
Fun.
Yes.
I stuck to driveway sealing. I just did odd jobs when I needed money as a youth.
Delivering newspapers.
Basically. But weirder. Working at amusement parks, sealing driveways, playing gigs with the band.
Sounds like the New Hampshire starter kit there.
Yeah, exactly. Poisoning people's wells for other people.
Working at the flower shop.
That's right. Sure. Well, you would do that for free.
Oh yeah, right. That's family. It's family owned.
That's right.
Oh, that's family owned. You think we're gonna pay you?
Yeah, a boopity boppity.
Boopity boppity. It's me and Marty. Okay, so all right, this is a movie we're gonna do. Before we get into the trailer, do we have any fan service? Any fan
Not this week.
No.
So, listeners, listen up. If you want, send us an email about your favorite holiday. That just sounds nice. I want to read about your favorite holiday.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But you can also send us whatever else you want. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com, and we'll read it in this segment.
Yeah.
Instead of this.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else? Or should we just get to this? Let's get to breaking down this trailer.
Yeah, pipe it up. Let's go.
I'd never heard of this movie, but had you heard of this movie before this moment?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
A big name, and then a couple big names that are apparently barely in it.
There's some now bigger names. I don't know if in 2015 they were that big, but I mean,
okay. I don't know anyone in this movie except like
really. Okay.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
And
Coopsters.
Emma Thompson, of course. But,
Yeah, I mean, this is really. I mean, he's been pretty big for a while there. So, anyways,
oh yeah, he's done it all for sure. Everyone else in this movie I've never heard of.
Mid Guardians of the Galaxy at this point, right? Between first one and second one.
Oh, probably, yeah.
All right, so we get the classic approved audience. We're all approved, right?
Classic. I love this. I feel like we've been doing a lot more approved audiences films lately, and
yeah,
I'm here for it.
I love it too. You know what's not approved though is the next thing. Yikes!
Yeah,
I thought they didn't. They're still operating in 2015. I guess that was so long ago. That was like,
yes,
it was like 8 years ago.
Might still even be in business, maybe, but under a different name or something.
Are we even going to say the name, or are we? Just
I guess so. Like we could say
so.
it's Weinstein Company. That guy's a dirtbag. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Yikes! So. Yeah, it's Weinstein Co.
Before we move on from that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I just Googled it because, we like to give people some small amount of information on this podcast, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Officially defunct as of 2018, though. That's a lot longer than I thought.
Longer. What do you mean?
Than I expected. Like I figured, like you said, like 2015. I was like, oh, maybe Weinstein and Co. Weinstein Company is done, but it was not.
Yeah, I think they were lingering around and just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, I guess.
Yeah, apparently there was some kind of acquisition deal in play, and then it collapsed, and it sounded ridiculous. So great, no longer exists as a company, thankfully.
Good, and I think he's going to be buried in prison for a long time. Anyways, all right.
Yeah.
We kick in with some kitchen stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just get the Brad's Coopersley here, just doing some voiceover, kind of filling us in, right? That he's dropped out of school when he was 16, saved a lot of money like you did, doing odd jobs to get a one-way ticket to Paris, because that's what you do when you want to be a chef. You go to Paris.
Sure.
And he just, I guess he just really wanted it really bad.
Seems like it.
Seems like it. All fired up, right?
Yeah. It's like very much so far like what you would expect from a cooking movie. Like the music's like kind of like subtle, and
there's throughout the entire trailer, because I'm not going to keep saying it, but throughout the entire trailer they kind of use that ticking, to build tension, but it's I think it's like someone stirring, but it sounds like it's ticking. It's like someone stirring and like hitting like something against
chopping
a bowl.
or
and it's like kind of repeating and kind of like slowly building the tension in the background. But yeah, so we basically learn who his character is, dropped out, and then decided to go to Paris to become a chef, and I guess he got too hot too early and didn't know how to handle it. So
that's what he says. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's like clips of cooks doing prep in kitchens and like chopping and whatever else.
Yeah, and it's cutting between like all the cooking, prepping, and then like the back of the head tracking shot of him walking through town and going into the kitchen and firing up the stovetops, right?
And then this is when somebody asks him what he wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, who is this person?
Yeah, I couldn't see him. I didn't know who it was, and he's like, "I want to run the best restaurant in the world."
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, he's got his fancy black t-shirt on, and there's a red carpet outside, and we get cuts of like fancy cars and fancy food, and
it's just fancy. It's Michelin star fancy, Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever eaten at a Michelin star rated restaurant?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like I would have known if I did that.
I don't think I did. I was gonna try and go to. I think there was one in Iceland. Is it Iceland or Faroe Islands? I think there's one out there that was like 1 star, which I almost went to. I was going to try and go to, but it was like not very easy to get into.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't go enough places around here, right?
Like, so, I mean, do they deliver? I mean, can I Grubhub them? Like,
right? Like that's actually, yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
There should be
probably not.
I'm wondering if there is like a service for like the super uber rich where you can basically get like Michelin rated starred like restaurants like delivered to you,
flown to you,
Michelin grub, where you just get delivered via plane. Fancy tables, fancy cars, and then just cut of him, Tom cruising on a motorcycle through town.
Yeah, I was like, what?
He's cool. Black t-shirt, sunglasses, rides a motorcycle. He's a chef. Badass chef. And then there's like a couple, like random shot of like a couple in bed talking about how he's like the Rolling Stones of chefs or something like that.
Yeah. The woman's like, are you sure he's famous? And the dude's like, yeah, he's like the Rolling Stone of chef. And you're like, what does that sentence mean? How do you be the Rolling Stones of chefs?
Like you've been around for a long time? Like you're old?
Say he's like the Mick Jagger of chefs?
Yeah, I would say like... Like I wouldn't say. Maybe that was the original line. Like, maybe people don't know who Mick Jagger. Like, first of all, that's ridiculous. But what a weird. Yeah.
The Rolling Stones of chefs.
Got it. He's a rock star. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just say he's a rock star. I don't know.
He's like the Gordon Ramsay of chefs. Oh, okay. Sick. Just do that.
He's the Papagenos of chefs.
The Papa himself.
Yeah, the Olive Garden of chefs. So I don't know who this couple is. It's just a shot of them basically filling. I'm sure they're part of the story in some shape or form. Maybe I bet one of them is probably like prognosticating, but I bet one of them is like works in his kitchen or something like that, or wants to.
Totally, yeah.
So then we get more shots of like food, starting to make me hungry a bit here. More shots of Brad. He's like, I don't want my restaurant to be a place you come and eat, come sit and eat. I want it to be a place where you sit at the table and did he say? And be sick with longing? Is that what he said?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
I think one of the words you don't want to use when describing food in your restaurant is the word sick. Like,
nope, you're wrong. You see, that's why you haven't had a Michelin star restaurant.
That's right.
They're supposed to be sick with norovirus and longing.
Like they're gonna die if they can't get this food. Okay, yeah,
that's right. Shitting and vomiting at the same time. That's right. With longing.
Yes, with longing.
Yeah, metaphorically, shitting and vomiting at the same time.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's like the Pepto-Bismol of chefs.
Then it cuts to him talking to some shady dude in a booth in some restaurant. And the guy's like, where have you been? And he's like, Louisiana. And he's like, doing what? Sniffing, snorting, injecting. What?
And then like this is like in between cuts of like more food prep, more fancy tiny portions, stuff like this, right? And then it cuts to I know you don't know who
a different guy, I think.
Yeah,
right?
so that's Daniel Brühl. He plays Zemo in all the Marvel movies.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, he's only there for like a quick scene or two, right? So he shows up and then he goes in and talks about how he's like, if you try to open up a restaurant here, people are gonna have you killed. I was like,
at least a dozen people will try to have you killed. I'm like, what? Excuse me?
Is this like some type of like the under like world of restaurant opening? Like,
I don't know, man. I was like, that's because I was like, oh, is this like going to be like the menu kind of thing? But
yeah, right.
I guess not.
Nope.
Then it kind of like cuts to some guy like tackling something. Like there's like action shots all of a sudden. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's in an alley like fighting. Like it's like they live all of a sudden, just like beating each other. Yeah. It's like what?
What movie is this?
What is happening? And then we get a woman throwing something at him. I think that's Sienna Miller. She's throwing something at the kitchen. He's just like, what? And then we get shots of the coops. He's thinking about life, right? And then he's, talking to someone. He's like, yeah, the kitchen's the only place where I felt like I really belonged,
That's right.
And then there's like, someone's aproning up, getting, and like the ticking of the music is like still picking up, like kind of building tension, dude stirring stuff, more kitchen stuff. And then he's still going on about cooking, like how he loves every minute of it, right? The heat, the pressure, the violence is the line.
And then it's like silence, quick cut to him just like smashing plates across the counter. And you're like, oh, what?
Yeah, that's what we called food waste.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big problem.
I'm a pissed off chef. This isn't plated correctly. Don't you the zucchini?
Rabble.
Yeah, I told you the zucchini goes on the left side. And then there's like a quick shot of like some close-ups of the other actors in the movie. Just shots of him like walking with Terminator. Obviously, the focus is on him clearly because he's the guy. He's chatting with a friend of the pod there, Emma Thompson.
That's right.
Yeah. About success, right?
Yeah, she's like, what happens if you succeed? And he's like, I don't know. Then it like cuts to him succeeding, seemingly.
Yeah.
Feeding some woman and some like nice scenes in a restaurant. And he's like, fireworks, immortality.
Oh my God! All right,
what?
It's just.
And what happens if you fail? He's like, and then it cuts to him whispering to some random person. He's like, I don't know if I can do it. And he's like shirtless, and you're like, wait, what? Like, what's happening?
And then there's like a shot of him like running like he's in a Mission Impossible movie. All of a sudden, like running down the street like from someone or something. I was like, what is going? It's a restaurant. Just relax, pump the brakes.
Yeah, looking banged up, and he's like in a gross white t-shirt now, and that's when he starts playing with a knife. Like there's like cuts of him like flipping around a knife in his hands, and he's like got cuts on his face and stuff. And you're like,
yeah, like
what?
What is going on? Yeah, and then when she asked him like, "Oh, what happens if you fail?" and there's like shot of him like flipping the table, stuff like this, whatever, right? And then the music is like really amped, right? And we're getting like that mixing, ticking noise, shots of the Coops doing crazy chef stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get our first title card, right?
Yep.
Academy Award nominee, Brad's Coopersleys.
Yeah. Well, right before that, though, there is, he walks up to some food truck in Europe somewhere. And then that's when British woman that might have been Emma Thompson.
I think it was still Emma Thompson.
Was like, one would hope you were dead, or like some stupid shit. And I was like, what is this line?
Yeah, like
what's happening in this movie? Yeah, and then it sets up that you're like, oh, okay, Academy Award nominee, embarrassing.
Yikes! And known for playing a hot-tempered raccoon. Bradley's Coopersleys.
Sex worker with a heart of gold, Bradley Cooper.
So we get quick shots of just faces and stuff to make it seem like something's going to happen in this movie.
Kissing and smoking and buttoning of shirts. Yeah, like,
so much action.
Yeah,
smashing so more weird. Kitchen stuff. Like, come on, man.
Right? It's the worst.
It's the worst.
And then he's on a bridge, like inexplicably.
Okay. Yeah. And then it's just, and it's a shot, and it's a good shot of him again. He's like, now I'm back. Like,
back from what?
I feel like there's like a little time thing going on here. Maybe he's supposed to say that after he came back from the bottom of the barrel with the drugs. I don't know.
I don't know. Do we see the barrel, or
I don't.
I thought the movie was post barrel.
Do you ever actually see the bottom of the barrel? I think you're just there and you don't know it.
Oh, that's you.
So then, we got a shot of a bridge and blah blah, and then it cuts to like him in the kitchen, like grilling some newbie like line chef there, right? And he's like he's a drill sergeant, like right in her ear, right? And he's like, always be looking, always be cooking, always be heating, always be salting and peppering.
That's right.
And like very military-esque, like, yes, chef.
Yeah, chef. Yeah, chef.
Hoorah, let's go. Bunch of clapping, fired up. No cook ever did that to me. I don't know. It was more of like, hey, asshole, can you cut a little bit faster?
Yeah, chef.
Yeah, chef. Yeah, chef. And we get our title card. Boint. And then we get the extended title
extra
cards.
Title cards.
Yeah, I was like, all right. So extended title cards. And we get like the all the other actors in the movie. So we get Sienna Miller, Omar Sy, who I don't know, Daniel Brühl, Matthew Rhys, Alicia Vikander, Uma Thurman, who is
Uma Thurman.
Yeah. Like
so special. That means barely in it.
Yeah, barely in it. And Emma Thompson.
Yeah, and Emma Thompson, which means she's also barely in it.
Yeah. And then it goes like, I've seen this before, but not like this. It was like, and then another title card, story by Michael Klesniko, whatever.
Sounds right.
Screenplay by Stephen Knight. I do know his name. Can't remember off the top of my head what he's done. We'll get into it in part one. And directed by John Wells, who I don't know, but we'll dig into all that, what they've done in part one next week. And then we end with the final title card coming soon. #Boint movie.
What a trailer.
That's it. Yeah. This is a drama. It's listed as a drama. So there's no comedy in this one. So
yeah, I can't imagine. Can't imagine laughing ever again. Honestly, it's going to be a movie. I'm not excited about this.
Hour and 40 minutes. So that's not terrible.
Oh, good. Okay.
This feels like he was aiming for like, maybe this is like let me show off my dramatic acting chops and do something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what anything is anymore. Who knows?
Can I just be in another Hangover movie, please?
Yeah, right. Just I don't know. Stop.
Pay me to be in those.
All right. Is it time to prognosticate with Jared and Russ, or Jared and Russ prognosticate? One of these days I'll get it right.
Yeah, I think it's Jared and Russ prognosticate. And that's right. It is time to do that.
JRP. Let's do it. What do you got? So, what do you think?
Here's what I think happens.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Jared special here where I think most of what we see in the trailer happens fairly early.
Oh, you're going fairly early. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh boy.
So I'm saying maybe the first 20 minutes or so are basically everything that happens in the trailer.
Okay.
And when and I think also the trailer's slightly out of order here, because I think now I'm back on the bridge there.
Yeah.
First of all, that bridge looked to me like it could be the Big Apple.
I don't disagree with you.
Our friend, Lady New York City.
Yeah.
And and so I think that's what happens at the end of this first chunk.
Okay.
And then he picks up his second career as an extraordinary professional jazz drummer.
Oh, okay.
And I think that kid who was on the bed with that woman earlier,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think he is actually the main character of this movie.
Okay.
Who is like his protege.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And he takes him from the kitchen industry into the drumming biz. Right. And he's a real hard ass. I think he carries over the violence.
Yeah. The heat, the pressure.
The pressure, the abuse.
Yep.
And then I think it turns into like a pretty long character study about their relationship and each of them, and how they approach their art, and along the way they meet one of his other the parents of one of his other students who like hanged himself because of depression.
Because drumming,
That's right. And it ends in a weird court case that you didn't expect from the movie starting that way.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, why is this ending in court? Okay.
Yeah. Nothing. No better way to ruin a movie than end it in court.
Right.
Oh, great. Cool. We're bringing the law into this. Boring.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got to testify against that guy.
Oh God, this is gross.
Yeah. And ultimately, though, I think he gets off and like ends up going back to drumming. Not cooking.
And then maybe from there, he actually becomes a studio drummer / touring drummer for the Rolling Stones.
That's right. Nailed it.
As they go on tour.
Yeah.
As they go on their Burnt on Life tour.
Mm-hmm. I think that sounds exactly right.
Yeah. All right.
Like famously, they need an extra drummer these days.
Yes.
The Rolling Stones, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure which ones are alive or dead at this point. So
he's not Keith Moon, so
no, definitely no. He's no Keith Moon.
Live forever
in our hearts.
So what do you think happens?
So I think that what ends up happening is that I think that there is some shady thing going on where he tries to open a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, he kind of ruffles the feathers of some type of like maybe restaurant mafia or something like that, right?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, right. And they go after him. They try to ruin his life, right? And they try to drag him down again with like, frame him, set him up with like more drugs, throw some unsavory characters at him and try to get him to fall off the wagon. Yeah, because he would fall off, right?
Like blow up his car in Sicily or something.
Yeah, absolutely, right? You're like, hey, you can't open up a Michelin restaurant around here, stuff like that. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like just trying to like get away from this situation and like kind of save his own life. I think what he does is that he escapes and he gets on a plane, right?
Okay.
And this is gonna be like just towards the end of this movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets out, right? He escapes the clutches of the restaurant mafia.
Yep.
He's on a plane. And who's he sitting next to? Julia Roberts.
Samuel Jackson?
Yes. Wow. Samuel Jackson's on his right. Julia Roberts on his left. Hazeltine there. Yeah. And I think he now, like, to escape what his past life is, he comes up with this new life.
Yeah.
Where he's now heading back to the States, right?
Yeah.
And that's where he completely does a 180. He goes back to maybe an old lover who happens to be a quarterback for a professional football team. Professional football team, and that's like his cover to now get out of the situation in Paris or London or wherever he is. So
yep. Nope. I think you nailed it.
And
I guess we'll see who's right.
Yes, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening. That makes perfect sense to me. Yours probably makes a little more logical, I guess. But yeah, there was nothing in that would lead me down a path of drumming. So at least yours makes kind of sense.
Well, I mean, he is a rock star. He is the Rolling Stone of chefs. So come on.
Who am I kidding? We're both right.
Don't sell yourself short. We're both right.
He is the Rolling Stones of chefs. That's right.
Okay.
Great.
I think that's it. I don't know. That's the entire trailer. So
ship it.
That's our entire trailer. That's what we think is going to happen. Mm-hmm. The only way to find out is to either watch the movie and then come back and hear us gloat about how right we were next week, or just come back next week anyways and then hear if we were right, because we'll tell you and we'll gloat then as well.
Yeah. Come on back to your favorite podcast, Cher.
Yeah.
Where I imagine you sit, listener.
That's all we're trying to say. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with our full breakdown of Burnt. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. We're always posting stuff up there. It's hot. It's hot over there on the gram.
So hot right now.
It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. Not so hot, but we'll see. Yeah. I don't know if that site's even running now. I don't know if it runs anymore. Who knows?
Sometimes.
And wherever you listen, subscribe. You can find us on the Spotify, the Apple, Google, wherever. And of course, if you've got any friends out there who you think might enjoy this, pass along to them.
If you've got any friends that you don't think would enjoy this, also pass it along to them. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us a hate listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing like a good hate listen to kind of put you in check.
You know, maybe some hate downloads. Yeah, and you can also hate drop us a review. Just make sure you do it with 5 stars, and then you can be as mean as you want. Say whatever you want. Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll read it, and we'll probably be a little sad, but that's okay.
Yeah, for like a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, or if you want to write us a long positive or negative email, you can do that, and send us one the old-fashioned way at itsthistmeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you go to the website, recently reskinned ITMT website. Very exciting.
Pretty fancy looking. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I am.
Yeah, Russ did a great job.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, new and improved. Itsthistmeetsthat.com. Check it out.